What's up everybody, welcome back to my commentary playthrough of Final Fantasy X, the HD Remaster Edition. And what I have done is loaded up an earlier save because I quickly wanted to show you guys something. There is a little something I forgot to show while I was doing my monster capturing. After dealing with the Omega Ruins and Inside Sin, I came to talk to Rin, and I sold all of my equipment. But I forgot that because I'd already picked up the 26th Albed Primer, that I actually had a little cutscene with him, a little conversation, and he gave me a reward for having completed all the Albed Primers. So hopefully throughout the walkthrough I should have shown you where all of the Albed Primers are, but if you want a more kind of refined list, obviously Googling is your friend. There is a nice kind of refined list, and it contains pictures as well where each one is. So once you have all 26 primers, come and talk to Rin.
May I help you?
You might want to face him because otherwise it might be a bit rude.
Thank you. Your patronage is very much appreciated. If there's anything I can help you with in the future, just ask.
Ace, wing topped.
Janoku. Wiraja fam may not win dukya.
Eiko, uluwi goof tranelg.
Dat regdrat sjofunt lusa. Drid falum timgu edix wowiket hat.
Ace ribidu.
Rana emnakad. Du lukne dimida winchelag.
Okay, obtained Underdog Secret times 99. We'll talk about these in a second. My controller got unplugged. I have it on charge at the moment just in case it runs out during recording.
Drigwi.
Dragui. Okay, so he gives you 99 Underdog Secrets. What are these good for? If you're doing a speed run and you don't have time to level up your characters and do stuff like that, then this will help you to mix trio of 9999. And that mix, basically, every action that you take in the game, whether it be using a potion or healing or obviously attacking, doing anything like that, it will do quad 9, so regardless of what it is. So even if your strength is 1 and you hit an enemy with 255 defense, you're still going to do 9999 damage. So you can understand how important that mix is. And Underdog Secret is pretty useful. It's one of the main ingredients for being able to make to mix that. Again, as always, you should refer to a mix list just to see the full kind of capabilities and what mixes that you can use it for. But that's one of the main uses. And other than that, you can also use it for double overdrive, which is pretty cool. So obviously there's also an ability called triple overdrive, which you probably have seen already from the previous parts. Triple overdrive is obviously superior to double overdrive, but the items needed for triple overdrive aren't the easiest. So in some situations, instead of grinding for triple overdrive, it might be better to just stick a double overdrive on there instead. So it's also useful for that. So yeah, Underdog Secrets, they're pretty useful and well worth talking to Rin for. So I definitely do that. Get your Underdog Secrets and you get to roll. Okay, I'm going to load up my most recent save and we're going to get going with Riku's Celestial Weapon. Okay, so now we're back to where I want to be, and now it is time for the Celestial Weapons. A lot of people will probably have been waiting for this because a lot of people want to know how to get the ultimate weapons, and obviously although the game's been out for a long time and there's millions of guys out there, some people might not know. So it's time to show you guys how to get them. The first ingredient for Celestial Weapons is the Cloudy Mirror. So how do you get the Cloudy Mirror? You can refer to part 59 to find out how to get to the Remium Temple, in case it's the first part that you've joined in for whatever reason. So you come to this temple, then you run over to this chocobo over here, and this will instigate a race, and if you win the race, the first time that you win the race, you get a Cloudy Mirror as a prize. So at the moment the Cloudy Mirror is useless, but we are going to use it in order to power it up into the Celestial Mirror, which in turn will help us power up and receive the Celestial Weapons. So, step number 1, get the Cloudy Mirror. Step 2, get the Celestial Mirror. And to do that, we need to head to Macalania. It's been such a long time since I got the Celestial Weapons, it's ridiculous. Seriously. Again, probably like 2007, maybe, the last time that I got these. because since then it's all been kind of challenge playthroughs that I haven't bothered to get the Celestials for.
We're counting on you, kid.
Haven't heard that one for a while. So there's a few little things you have to do in order to get the Celestial, but it's not too difficult. Well, the mirror is easy, it's getting the Celestial weapons that's a little bit more difficult. And the items that you need to power them up, that's a whole different story.
Yeehaw! Here we go!
We're going to start off with Riku, because that's one of the easiest ones to power up. And also, she's one of the ones in my main party, so it's a good idea to get hers. Okay, so we've come to Macalania. Make sure you have a no encounters weapon equipped. If you want to find out how to get a no encounters weapon, please refer to part 90, because that's where I show you guys how to get that. And once you've done it, we have to do a little bit of police work in order to find some missing people. And once we do that, then we will have the Celestial Mirror. This bit is a shortcut to where we need to go. And it's also where we're going to be able to power up our Celestial weapons. But the path is blocked at the moment. So everything we're doing now is in order to unblock the pathway to powering up the Celestial weapons and getting the Celestial Mirror. So this is the path that we need to go through, but at the moment it's blocked, so we need to make sure we do a few little things first. I've said it before, there's enough room for both of us, we could just, you know, kind of squeeze through, but no. We have to do it the long way. Okay, so having come down the magical path, we come to the beginning of the Macalania Woods, and we see these two over here. I'm supposed to meet my husband here, but he hasn't shown up for the longest time. What are you saying? I'm supposed to meet my dad here, but he's late. Okay. Right, so now we need to find this this missing father. So how do we do that? He's in one of these kind of side bits. But I forget which one. I think that's to get to Bevel. I think I'll go through here. Yeah, it should be this one, I think. And he should just be chilling in there. I mean, it's a pretty linear path, but for some reason he's kind of lost. I'm supposed to meet my family here, but they're nowhere in sight. Okay, so there's been a miscommunication here. I hope you find him, you cruel bastard. Okay, let's help him out. Kid, what? He doesn't look that much older than me. So let's follow him back to his family. And hopefully they should be all reunited. There we go. Oh, the little homie's gone. Where is he? I finally met up with my husband thanks to your help. I can't thank you enough. Okay. I was reunited with my wife all thanks to you. Yes. But now my boy is missing. He went into the woods alone. But my son went off into the woods before my husband came. Great parenting, guys. Seriously, well done. Okay, so now we have to find that damn little kid. And, lucky for us, we can find him blocking the pathway to the Celestial Mirror. Well, the place where we're going to obtain the Celestial Mirror. So it's a very short little process. Up here, there's a little kid, and he's found this weird plant type thing that kind of reveals something. It feels like there's something around here, doesn't it? Yeah, there's definitely something around here. I wonder what it could be. Use a cloudy mirror? Nah. You might want to remember this place. You found my dad, thanks a bunch. Okay. Good work, Titus. See, the kid's off and running already. So yeah, if you decide not to use a cloudy mirror, then you just don't get the celestial weapons. So if that's what you want to do, it's completely up to you. So there we have it. So at the moment we've got the celestial mirror, but nothing happens here. The reason for that is we do not have any celestial weapons. So that's what we need to do next. And like I said, we're going to start with Riku's weapon. Those of you guys that have been watching the walkthrough so far, you'll know that we've encountered some chests that we weren't able to open because the cloudy mirror didn't quite have the capabilities, but now with the celestial mirror we will be able to open those chests. So let's open the first chest and actually pick up Riku's celestial weapon. And to get that we need to
counting on you, kid.
We need to do two little things. Thing number one is to input a password into here, and that password is Godhand in uppercase letters. So if you're wondering about that password and how to get it, you can refer to part 90. That has the information that you need to know. Once you've input those, once you've input that password into the airship, you will gain access to an area called Mushroom Rock, and this is the place where the Godhand is being held. So you need to go down to Mushroom Rock with the celestial mirror, and with those two ingredients you should be able to hopefully unlock that chest and get Riku's celestial weapon.
Yeehaw! Here we go!
Again, throughout this whole celestial weapon process, it's just a good idea to have a no encounters weapon, so you can just freely run to where you need to go without having to waste time, you know, fighting or fleeing from random encounters. Okay, here is said chest. The celestial mirror seems to react. Let's use it. Riku's standing politely, just waiting for it. Yep, that one's for me, she says. And there we have it, the Godhand. Does look pretty cool compared to other weapons. So it certainly looks impressive, but what does it do? What is the point of this weapon? No AP. Shit. So this is the first kind of stage of the celestial weapons, and all celestial weapons, until you power them up, they all begin like this. So basically useless. Although they do have some special capabilities, which I'll discuss once I have powered up Riku's celestial one. So, in order to power up celestial weapons, what do you need? You need crests, and you need sigils. And each person has their own celestial object, whether it be a planet or the sun. And Riku's ones are the Mercury Request and the Mercury Sigil. So if you notice, I don't have either one. So throughout the walkthrough, I've done my best to skip out on these to make it easier to actually pick them up in the post game and show you guys how to get them. But some of them are really kind of, either they're unavoidable, like this one, and some of them you really need to get them first time, like this one, otherwise they cause major problems. But we'll discuss these ones when we get to them. So what I'm going to get next is the Mercury Crest, and then afterwards I will get the Mercury Sigil. And once we have those two, we can head back to Makalania, and we will be able to power up this weapon fully. So in order to power up Riku's weapon fully, the crest and the sigil lie in Beacon L, so that's where you need to be.
Counting on you, kid.
Again, it's a massive area, so no encounters is pretty much a must if you don't want to spend all day. So, the way it goes, the crests are pretty easy to obtain. They're usually just kind of lying around, you don't have to do too much to get them. But the sigils can be a downright nightmare for some of the weapons especially. Riku's one is pretty easy in comparison, but for example the one I'm going to do next, which is Titus's one, can be an absolute nightmare. And there are people that have played this game for a long time and just never bothered to get the sigil because it's just too difficult. So that is what I'll be attempting next. But first, let's deal with Riku. I guess I might as well discuss why the Celestial Weapon is still useful at this stage, because I'll probably forget later on. The Celestial Weapons have a special ability where they can ignore the enemy's defense. So in that sense they're pretty cool. And that ability alone kind of usually, almost always makes them superior to specially customized weapons with break damage limit. But just bear in mind that just because it ignores defense, that doesn't mean that it will ignore the defense of armored enemies, because being armored is a completely different status. So let's say you attack one of those kind of like Halma type enemies, you're still going to do a third of the damage that you normally do. It's not going to make a difference. But obviously that's what piercing is good for breaking that kind of armor. But obviously piercing doesn't help to reduce the enemy's defense in any way. So for that reason, Celestials are superior. But one of their downsides is that their damage output is related to your maximum HP. So the closer you are to your maximum HP, the closer you will be able to getting your maximum damage output. And if you're very low on HP, then the Celestials won't do a lot of damage. So in terms of the order that I'll do it, I'll probably, like I said, Tyres is going to be next. And then afterwards I'll deal with Waka, because that's my main front three that I'll be beating the Dark Aeons with. And Waka's one is going to take a long time because I have to do a lot of blitzing for it. But it kind of coincides well with my 6th anniversary for the channel, and I'll make a video for that where I will ask you guys to post some questions, and then we'll have a massive Q&A session for part of the blitzballing. Still, I mean, even with the Q&A session, there's still going to be way too much blitzballing to put it all in. But where was it? Is it that one? No, must be in this little bit. Yes, here we go. This is the chest. There it is, Mercury Request. So, like I said, the crests are very easy. The sigils, less so. But lucky for us, we can get going right here. If you remember, the first time we arrived here, there was a massive sandstorm that we couldn't get through. And now, what we can do is interact with this stone over here, and this will set off a mini game where we have to find some cactars. And once we complete that mini game, our prize will be the unlocking of this sandstorm. And you can see there's some treasure chests in there. So let's begin. It's been years since I've done this. I'm probably going to fail miserably on most of these cactus catching games, but we'll see what happens. There's writing on the stone. Song of the Gatekeeper. 10 little gatekeepers play in the sand. Tome's gone to fetch the water. Be back soon. Okay, Village of the Cactars. Using spheres to control the sands, the Cactars defend their village. They are the gatekeepers. Present all 10 of the spheres they bear to the stone altar, and the way to the village will open. Right, so now we have to find these cacti. And it said he's gone to fetch water. So, the only place in this entire desert that we know that has water is right back at the beginning. So that's where we need to head to find the first cactus. And the way this minigame goes, you find a cactus, there's a minigame where you have to kind of sneak up on them and catch them. And if you can catch them, then you get the sphere, and if you can't, then you get a different kind of sphere. So depending on whether you catch them, depending on how many you catch, the reward that you get for completing the minigame changes. So as far as I'm aware, you can fail every single one and still get the Mercury sigil. But I'm pretty sure you can fail them all. And to be honest, the prizes that you get for capturing the cacti aren't that impressive. I think the best thing that you get is a friend sphere. And how many friend spheres do I have? I have 4. So yeah, it's not that great. But obviously, if you're a completionist and you want to make sure that you capture them all, then you're going to have to make sure your reflexes are sharp and your timing is good. Okay, so most of these cactus, as far as I know, they should be visible on the screen, so you should know that you've come to the right place because you will physically be able to see them. There he is, there's a little guy. Okay. Quick note about these guys, if you want to do this mini game before you do monster capturing, cactars aren't the easiest encounter to run into in Beaconell, and as far as I know, if you defeat them with a capture weapon, then you should be able to capture these, so that's a good way to capture 10 cactars if you need to. Let's sneak up on it.